we are back live for the big match, the highlight of the night, Nicaragua versus Cuba, in front of a capacity crowd of 8,000 here in Managua. This absolutely beautiful Polideportivo as we take a look at the standings in Group B. As you just saw, Panama beating Canada 7-3, taking a commanding lead atop Group B with 6 points. Cuba on 1. Canada, of course, 1 point yesterday in that 5-5 draw with Cuba. And Nicaragua on 0 after a 6-3 loss to Panama yesterday. And we have a rematch of the group stage in 2020's Concacaf Championship. And it should be a big one. You can hear the horns, you can hear the fans. They will be bringing the noise all game long. As we take a look at all the fans with the headbands, the balloons, the flags. It's been an absolute great futsal party here in Nicaragua. Wonderful hosts. The first time they're hosting at this beautiful venue, one of the best futsal arenas in all of the CONCACAF region. Grateful to the hospitality of Nicaragua, everyone is. We're in for a real good matchup tonight, a pivotal one, as Nicaragua certainly looking to gain all 3 points. Will be in tough against a very young and very hungry and fearless Cuban side. You can hear these horns. Almost reminding you of those vuvuzelas from 2010's World Cup in South Africa. And I can tell you, being there, that was loud, but in an arena setting, it's even louder. That sound just comes in. And for the players, you just wonder if they can even hear each other or hear their coach's instructions because of the actual strength of that sound. Final match here on match day 2 at the CONCACAF Futsal Championships. What a day it has been, and for those just tuning in, if this is your first time catching futsal, kick your feet up and enjoy what is going to be a fantastic match between two sides desperate to gain full points. Just going over the basics. The court is 40 meters by 20. 3 meters by 2 are the goals. And the game is played with 2 20-minute halves with stop clock. Each team is entitled to a 1-minute timeout per half. And futsal has accumulated fouls, which means each team is allowed 5 fouls per half. However, every foul the team commits after 5 leads to an unobstructed free kick from 10 meters out. And the one thing that we love about this game is unlimited substitutions on the fly. No need to whistle in with the referee, and it makes for a real fun game. Very fast, very action-packed. But for those who are well familiarized with futsal, well, then you already know what kind of a game you're about to experience here between the host Nicaragua and this young Cuban side that impressed yesterday against Canada. As we see the officials come out with the match ball. First referee today is Johnny Garcia from El Salvador, Carlos Trejo from Mexico, Anthony Turberg from Suriname, and Manuel Rosario, the timekeeper from the Dominican Republic. As we see Nicaragua and Cuba come out to line up, and just listen to the crowd. They are ready for a Sunday night futsal match. They're ready to see their team go all the way and get these 3 points. You see the applause there by one of the Nicaraguan players. And get ready for the national anthems. Starting with Cuba.
Queremos servir para escuchar el himno nacional de Nicaragua.
And there we go. Both national anthems followed up by the sportsman handshake. This arena is rocking. Horns, screaming, whistling, clapping, stomping. The Nicaraguans know how to throw a party. And certainly that's going to be fuel for these teams, specifically for the hosts. Just moments away from kickoff as we take a look at the Nicaraguan starting lineup with Rudy Rodriguez, Wesley Ruiz, Lester Cripp, Ezequiel Sequeira, and Adeli Lacayo going in with head coach Carlos Sotela looking to get his team fired up for their first win of the tournament. Both teams getting hyped up, ready to roll as the referee team, as we said earlier, Johnny Garcia, Carlos Trejo, Anthony Turborg, and Manuel Rosario. A quality cast indeed. Exchanging of the banners as we take a look at Cuba's roster with Kevin Redainet, Harold Aguilera, Jonathan Hernandez, Idoan Martinez, and number 13, Diego Ramirez, with coach Rogelio Valdivia. Sounds like a beehive in here. All the horns, all the buzzing. And here we are, Cuba with first possession, seconds away from the Group B's final match of the day. Diego Ramirez coming in for Cuba, cross court. Oh, Cuba doing a great job yesterday against Canada, cross court and finding the far post, trying it early on here against the host, but not in that attempt, courtesy of Wesley Ruiz. Ball going back into the Cuba half with Ramirez. Now over to Aguilera. Cuba, a very, very different team than in 2021, where they failed to make the Futsal World Cup, something the Cubans aren't used to, having been there 5 times. The Cubans with 4 silver medal finishes at the Concacaf Futsal Championships over the years. One of the most successful teams in the history of the region, looking to get back on the podium and, of course, back to the FIFA Futsal World Cup later this fall in Uzbekistan. Cuba going to penetrate, going into the center. Taking the attempt out there was Jonathan Hernandez, and a shot stopped beautifully out there by the Nicaraguan keeper. Nicaragua on the attack, wide open with the keeper. Oh, and just missing. Oh, an opportunity there for Nicaragua to go. Beautiful ball laid in from Christian Valiente. But Hernandez not able to capitalize as Cuba go deep in the zone and go for their own. And a shot there by Diego Ramirez. A key part of this Cuban side. Ramirez, 25 years old, playing his futsal over in Spain. The only player playing futsal in a foreign country outside of the Cuban league is Ramirez. And you'll be seeing that face and that name a lot throughout this program as we see Nicaragua take possession. Also a young and hungry side is Nicaragua. And Cuba on the attack. Oh, wide open was Jonathan Hernandez. But Ezequiel Sequeira holding the fort down for Nicaragua as Cuba come in with the corner kick. Cuba again, wide on the wing, wide open at that far post as they did yesterday. Waiting there was Martinez. Hernandez, if he had just found them out there, that would have been an easy tap-in. A strategy that Cuba's employed over and over again. And a mispass there, leading to Nicaragua possession. Nicaragua coming out of their half. I think nothing short of a win here is what the Nicaraguans are hosting. They want full points going into match day 3 tomorrow night against Canada. Another team desperate for full 3 points after their 7-3 loss to Panama earlier, just minutes ago. It's definitely going to go down to the wire. The top 2 from each group advance, along with the 2 best third-place finishers as well, as Cuba on the attack. Ooh, into the penalty area, but on home to tap it in from that pass from Christian Valiente, the 22-year-old from Holguin. Nothing there from Nicaragua, easily picked up by Rueda. 20 years old, this extremely young Cuban side with a very bright future. The oldest player on the team is Lazaro Castro, and he's only 27 years old. The youngest player on the team, an incredible 16 years old, is Lipsem Sanchez, number 2. So watch out for him. Plays his futsal in La Habana. Imagine being 16 years old, coming in to represent your country with an opportunity to go to the World Cup. A teenager's dream indeed. Nicaragua in their own end, looking to break out and find an open slot. A nice attempt at the run along the sidelines there for Sequeira. And the inbounds pass, definitely off the mark there. It'll be Cuban ball. This young Cuban side were up 3-0 within the first few minutes of the game against Canada. And Canada marched back to take away the point. You got to think the Cubans will feel hard done by. See a beautiful ball in the middle of there. No foul called. Referee letting the play on as we see Ramirez over down to Aguilera. Aguilera again down to Ramirez. Makes a nice move. Ooh, almost an opportunity, but a right-footed strike. Going left of the goal. Just missing over there by about 1.5 meters or so. You can't give the Cubans this kind of space because even though they missed that one, this is a team with no fear and hard shots, as we saw in yesterday's game. And Cuba coming out of their zone now. Bringing it over is number 10, Martinez. Another La Habana product. Out of bounds there was his touch. 7 players representing Cuba ply their foot trade at La Habana Futsal Club. Nicaragua in the corner, a little too much on that pass attempt out there was Luna. Cuba looking to exploit a gap. Here it is, Ramirez, key opportunity, and oh, he is missing that one. That was all golden opportunity out there for Diego Ramirez. Rudy Rodriguez, the goalkeeper. Glad that didn't hit the target. Nicaragua are going to have to be better defensively and not give those opportunities, especially to an experienced player like Ramirez. Or they could find themselves in trouble all night long. Even though this team is young, you can tell they've practiced a lot. And they'll go for it as Ramirez again. But with the inbounds, the instructions being given by Coach Carlos Sotela. Ramirez. Back over to Aguilera. Aguilera back at the center. Martinez going in. Shoots, and just earlier, like Ramirez, gets it wide of the mark. Mistouch there. Cuba getting it. Corner kick coming in. Aguilera. Over to Cotilla. Rodriguez leading the throw out for Luna. Losing possession there. It's 21-year-old Manuel Mejia plays for Sport Spirit. That is club futsal for Nicaragua. Valiant attempt there by George Gonzalez. Cotilla. Nice move there, but a miss hit. Still 0-0 here in the first half. 9.5 minutes through. Oh, and here we go, a 2v1 for Cuba. Wide open, and there's the first goal of the game. Beautifully done. Cuba up 1-0. Courtesy of Jorge Gonzalez and Diane Cotilla. We see Cotilla with the ball, and a beautiful slide in, making no mistake, was Jorge Gonzalez. And that may just calm down this vibrant and loud crowd here in Managua. But it is Central America. You can't keep the down over here. They live and breathe futsal. They live and breathe sport. And they're going to keep their team going, firing on all cylinders. As we see Diane Cotilla, the 24-year-old, getting the assist on that opening goal. And a foul called there on Cotilla. As we see Luna bringing it in, and much ado about nothing there. Oh, a giveaway picked up by Nicaragua. Left foot just right of the goal out there was number 5, William Barrientos. Oh, an uncharacteristic mistake out there by Cotilla. Almost gave Nicaragua the opportunity to score and tie this game up. We see Carlos Satella barking the instructions as Cuba bring it in. And Nicaragua coming out of their zone. 10 minutes gone, halfway through the first half here. Cuba up 1-0 on the host Nicaragua. Christian Valiente tried to beat his defender. Great marking there was Roberto Diaz. As Aguilera brings it back over to Rueda. Cuba giving up possession, but still maintaining the lead. A win here for Cuba would bring them to 4 points, and surely, at the very minimum, one of the second best third-place spots at the very minimum, getting them into the quarterfinals, which is the real big match for every team at this tournament, because if you do win your quarterfinal match, you book your ticket to the Futsal World Cup. And Cuba almost there, getting an opportunity. Nicaragua breaking out. Here they come. An attempt, big shot. Stop, and another one. Not as much as the first one. But Franklin Palacios getting that right-footed shot directly at Kevin Rueda. Well positioned to make that save. Ramirez. We see Harold Aguilera, 22 years old, plays like a veteran who's been in the sport for over 10 years. Cool, calm, and collected. Nicaragua picking up possession. We see William Barrientos from Cheyennes Futsal Club. The crowd urging Nicaragua to get in there. There's a nice move. Ooh, slotted through the penalty area, but just putting a little too much on it. And Cuba will now take their time. It's a very promising young Cuban side. You can imagine what this team's going to be like in 4 years if they keep playing together. Footwork down the slot. Oof. Almost trips on him. Unfortunately, one too many steps there is Martinez. Alvarado. Over Barrientos. Diaz. Melacoyo. Ooh, and Nicaragua sneaking it in. Coming out of his goal area was Kevin Rueda to make the stop. Then it looked like the ball was going to get through. So we take a look again. Roberto Diaz holding his own, and now for Nicaragua. Trying to put it through. Cuba recovering. Kicking the ball out of bounds around the halfway mark. Just under 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. See Lacayo going 1v1 with Christian Valiente. Referee ensuring that the ball is kicked in at the appropriate spot. Great referees here in Concacaf, getting the opportunity to cut their teeth with some of the best as the ball goes in, headed over by Cuba. But not enough on it, and saved by Rodriguez rather easily. Gonzalez now teaming up with his line mates Valiente. Valiente, Cotilla, back to Cotilla. Put down to the side. Cotilla. Gonzalez putting it back for Rueda. Just punts it down to Nicaragua. Now with the ball. And you know Nicaragua want to repeat 2021 when they beat Cuba 4-1 in the group stage. Cuba exiting with 3 consecutive losses. Oh, beautiful move along the side. Another one again. Oh, but just can't keep it in bounds there. Was Lester Cripp, one of the coolest names in the entire tournament. 25-year-old playing his futsal in Nicaragua at Unifutsal. One of 4 players from the club, showing some of that beautiful footwork. As we see Cotilla going back and forth with his defensive partner, slowing it down, forcing the Nicaraguans to come at them and press. And a timeout called by Cuba. Comfortable with a 1-0 lead with 4:27 here in the first half as head coach of Nicaragua, Carlos Sotela, giving the instructions of what he wants to see. And we're going to take a look at this give and go. Cotilla over to Gonzalez. Just beautiful chemistry between the two. And if you're the 22-year-old, you got to be on top of the world opening up that goal. You know that head coach, Rogelio Valdivia of Cuba, is telling his team to be defensively responsible, but also going for it. They want more goals. And after the first match in Group B earlier, Panama defeating Canada 7-3. Canada now at -4. The goal difference is going to be vital leading in to the rest of this match and also for tomorrow's match day 3, the final one in the group stage. You can bet it's going to go down to the wire. And Ramirez will take the kick in deep in the Cuban zone. And kicking it the width of the pitch over to the center of the court. Picked up Lester Cripp. Cripp getting a goal yesterday for Nicaragua, but it wasn't enough as they fell 6-3 and find themselves now at -4 at 0 points as it currently stands with 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in the first half. Cuba rolling the ball, laid it off, but too much. And now the counter, 2v1 for Nicaragua. And no foul called there by the referees. Let it go, much to the chagrin of the Nicaraguan fans in attendance who thought there was more contact. And Cuba going wide, beautiful ball in. Ramirez can't handle it, but Rodriguez comes out of his area to mitigate any possible threat. You can see why the fans not liking that one bit. This is definitely not the ballet. Futsal is a contact sport. Not too heavy, but more than enough out there. You got the finesse, you have the flair, but you have some contact, to say the least, as you've seen already so far in this game and in the last. As Wesley Ruiz, bringing to his teammate, almost picked off there, was Martinez. Nicaragua, again, shooting from far out there, way over the goal area. It was Wesley Ruiz. Ramirez. Big difference maker here for Cuba. As Cuba look to draw a second goal and double up their lead. Slow, patient, and methodical are the Cubans. Ooh, big shot out there from the corner. Cuba almost with an opportunity. Oh, a giveaway again almost gave Cuba another one. A big save out there by Rudy Rodriguez, keeping the lead to only one. Another look at that as Ramirez sneaking in a shot. Rodriguez getting his hands on it as a timeout being called here now by Carlos Sotela. Drawing out what he wants on the board. With just over 2 minutes left here in the first half. This would really raise the spirits of Nicaragua and also the several thousand in attendance here at the Polideportivo. Alexis, Arguello. Of course, we see the Cubans putting their plan of action together. Will something give? Will Cuba double up? Or will Nicaragua tie it and boost their spirits going into halftime? That's the end of the timeout. Both teams calling theirs. And this will play down. Nicaragua going in. Not really a good attempt over there as Rodriguez, the goalkeeper, misplays the ball, and Cuba will pick up possession in their zone. Nicaragua crossing center court. It's number 2, Marcelo Alvarado. Getting it over to Kripp, who just put too much of a heavy foot on it, resulting in a loss of possession. And Cuba giving it right back over to Nicaragua again. Cuba on the attack. A dangerous opportunity. Shot hits Rodriguez. Second attempt at goal. Cuba goes up 2-0, courtesy of a Jose Morales finish. A defensive lapse by Nicaragua cost them dearly before halftime. The 23-year-old, also of La Habana Futsal Club. Great work out there to go in. The first shot stopped. Second, Morales would make no mistake whatsoever. And that whole play was set up by Jorge Gonzalez, who made the beautiful run and a perfect pass over to Morales. And the Cubans will be super happy about that going into the half, provided, of course, they can hold off from Nicaragua coming back with 1:03 remaining in the half. Ball going out of bounds, Nicaragua possession. These referees letting the physical contact go. And the crowd certainly letting the refs hear their opinion. Alvarado, the young stud out of Uni Futsal. Ball down in. Ooh, not too much there from Marcelo Alvarado. So we see Kevin Rueda launching that ball at the air, and the header not doing anything there was Barbaro Alvarez. 20 years old, celebrating his birthday actually in 3 days. So happy early birthday, Barbaro. .6 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if Nicaragua can bring one back. Give the fans something to cheer about. Sequeira. The ball away. And now a foul and yellow card being given to Ezequiel Sequeira. Crowd not liking that with 1.5 seconds left as we take a look at the replay. There's definitely contact out there. Referee's gonna let it finish off, and that is the whistle for halftime here. The second match, and Group B on match day 2 sees Cuba up 2-0 on the host Nicaragua with goals by Jorge Gonzalez and Jose Morales. It is going to be a fiery second half. Surely enough, Nicaragua needing to win. Don't want to go into the final group stage match down with 0 points to show from their first 2 games so far, but this is the game of halves, and we'll see if Nicaragua can turn the momentum on their side. And the team's coming back out of the tunnel, getting ready for the second half of what's going to be an epic final 20 minutes here on the final match of match day 2 at the 2024 Concacaf Futsal Championships. Hopefully you've enjoyed a wonderful day, all 6 games on tap. Great players, great coaching, excellent production team. See the refs bringing the ball out to the center court. The Nicaragua fans, you can hear them. They are giving the refs the business tonight. And they're going to use that energy to reinvigorate the boys to get them on the scoreboard for the first time tonight as they try to clear that 2-0 deficit that Cuba holding over them right now. If Cuba can hold off for full points here, surely with yesterday's tie against Canada, that brings them to 4 points and should be good enough at the very least as a top 3rd place finisher, or it might even be good enough to finish in 2nd. Cuba will be playing Panama tomorrow. Panama, of course, with a dominant 7-3 victory earlier tonight against Canada, putting themselves clear atop of the table with 6 points. Anything can happen. Canada still in it with 1 point. A win tomorrow against the host would put them on 4 points and surely get them into the quarters as well. So much at stake. Most importantly, a spot in the FIFA Futsal World Cup. But we still have a second half to play here tonight on match day 2 as the host Nicaragua kick off. You can just hear the horns. It's a hive that is buzzing here in Managua. And not a good first touch early on there. As Nicaragua concede possession. Ooh, beautiful stop. Let's see the turn. A great opportunity there in the pivot position. So we see Hernandez firing just over the bar. And now Lester Cripp for Nicaragua. Bringing the ball back, watching the rotation go. Attempt to flick over his defender. Denied. The experienced Diego Ramirez plays his futsal at the Ribaroja in Spain. One of the greatest countries in the world for futsal is Spain. Not too many better places to cut your teeth. And certainly a big leader is a giveaway almost there by Martinez. It cost Cuba, but recovered enough in time. As we see number 4, Luna. And the always energetic Carlos Sotela. Making sure his boys know what he wants. Cuba deep. An attempt shot on target there by Jonathan Hernandez, the 23-year-old. Nothing much there from Martinez. As we see Rudy Rodriguez, the goalkeeper for Nicaragua, bringing it out. An attempt by Ezequiel Sequeira, denied by the Cuban defense. Referee having a chat with Martinez. Martinez questioning what's going on. And a foul called there against Jonathan Hernandez. The referee's allowing a lot of contact in this match. But over there, blatant foul. Could have only imagined if they didn't call that and it would have been a breakaway. Crowd would have been absolutely wild. Ooh. Incensed for not allowing it to go forward is Nicaragua. And the yellow card. A little trip up there by Cotilla. Nicaragua. Ooh, beautiful move out there, and the shot hitting a defender. Great effort there by Lester. Again, he scored yesterday. A dynamic player who can break out at any moment. Quick feet, very intelligent. Good speed. Speaking of such, by Ezequiel Sequeira. You can hear the crowd now clapping, stomping horns, and yelling. What an atmosphere. So refreshing after 2021, which was played behind closed doors at the Domo Polideportivo in Guatemala City. As the ball almost comes up, hits our Concacaf camera. But just to hear the roar of the crowd. Sport is nothing without the fans at this level. And it's great to have all of the wonderful people in Nicaragua come out to support not just their team, but the sport of futsal as well. So see Carlos Sotela telling his boys, tranquilo, relax, slow it down. Ooh, you are going to see a card out here. And it is a yellow. And astonishment on the face of Patrick Luna. As we take a look at the replay, the shoulder got him in there. And the Cuban bench not happy one bit with that call. My correction, it was George Gonzalez with the yellow. And the shot, short side, not doing too much damage. Nicaragua at least making attempts on goal now. Getting a corner kick. Oh, and that one went up into the second deck. As Sequeira just getting too much under the ball there. Oh, and a big giveaway. Will Nicaragua do something? Contact, but no call as Cuba break out. Oh, and this place would have gone bananas there. As the referee's not calling the previous contact with Nicaragua just outside of the Cuban area. This atmosphere is just getting more intense, and it's only going to get louder towards the final whistle. Nicaragua desperately seeking the opening goal. Oh, not really sure exactly what Lacayo was thinking. And here he is out there. Get the contact, the referee going, nope. Not a chance. Crowd let him hear their thoughts on it. The intensity of the game has picked up certainly over the last 2.5 minutes. Cuba with an inbounds kick. Trying to find that space. There's Martinez. And now Cuba with another corner. Martinez putting that one up high. Well over the bar for Rudy Rodriguez, who will roll it out. Arely Lacayo. Palacios trying to find his boy Lester Cripp in the corner, but just a little heavy. As Cuba now come out of their zone. Definitely maneuvering the ball around. See a 1v1 scenario here. And a right shot out there by Jose Morales, who already has a goal on the night. Good angle coverage out there by Rudy Rodriguez. Going to need a lot more than that to beat him. And a nice flick over. Picked up all the sideline. And definitely not liking that was Marco Chavez. Felt he was fouled. Give him another shove out there. He's going at it with Martinez. A lot of hands coming up in the last few minutes out there. We knew it was going to be testy. We knew it was going to be intense. Oh, and here we go. A 3v2 for Nicaragua. Big opportunity and score! And here's the crowd going absolutely nuts as Lester Cripp brings Nicaragua within one. What a crowd. This is absolutely pandemonium. Look at that layoff and Lester Cripp making no mistake. One touch, boom. There we go. Controls that ball and then just lays it out on the left side. And that got the crowd hot. Ezequiel Sequeira. And Cuba immediately coming back on the attack. But now we have a game. And Nicaragua again on the counter. It's going to be a foul, surely. An accumulative foul. No. Surprising. Cuba with possession, going in. Cutting, feeding the ball off. Puts it in. The goalkeeper out, Rodriguez. I thought that would have been a foul against Cuba a few seconds earlier. Here we go. And this is an invigorated crowd and even more importantly, a reinvigorated Nicaraguan side that need the win. Oh, but pickpocketed out of no Ramirez and just puts it wide. In fact, that was actually Gonzalez. This game has certainly picked up the energy, and this crowd is absolutely lit right now. wanting another goal. Boosting their team. You can see the energy in the Nicaraguan side. Oof. A little attempt out there. Almost getting under the bar, but palming it out. Rodriguez almost looked like he hit the back of his head on that bar. But protecting the lead at all costs is this leader, the 28-year-old, playing at Santa Emilia in Nicaragua. The sole representative of Santa Emilia. Alvarado. Taluna. Sequera. Little exchange, but picked. Yeah. So we get a glimpse of the goalkeeper. Beautiful chest out there. What a ball in. And an attempt by Jorge Gonzalez to get the ball in. That would have been a spectacular goal had that pass been finished off, as we see. Great effort there by Gonzalez, who scored in the first half. Ooh, look at that move. Rolling the ball on the bottom of his foot, as characteristic in futsal for the control. 22 years old, and this kid is playing silky smooth. Going to see Valiente bring in possession. Cuba just punting it over into the Nicaragua end as Rodriguez lays it back off. Bringing it out will be Sequera. Rolling the ball beautifully, back dragging out the Cuban. The crowd absolutely loving the effort for Sequera. Cuba picking it up. Oh, but just out of bounds. Losing possession out there was Christian Valiente. Rodriguez over to Sequera. Corner kick awarded to Nicaragua. The shot blocked and didn't get through. Taken there by Barrientos. Teams exchanging opportunities, and it's only going to pick up. We get closer and closer to the halfway mark here in the second half of match day 2 of Group B, as we see Rodriguez coming out. Here we go. No foul called there against Roberto Diaz, who tries to cut across, and standing is Aguilera. Cuba deep in their zone, forced to turn it over. A foul called there against Martinez. Rightfully so. Put his right hand on the shoulder. Nicaragua will get a free kick. Led by, and a yellow card coming out here to the bench over in Cuba. Exactly who got that in a moment. Lining up will be Marcelo Alvarado, the 21-year-old from Futsal, to take the free kick. The referee's letting the players know, Aguilera and Barrientos, to keep it cool. Oh, big opportunity here. Oh, miss hit. Alvarado. And the yellow card going to Freddy Juan, the assistant coach of the Cuban team. Passionate man, but said something much to the chagrin of the referee. One now for Nicaragua. Can they tie it up? And that looked almost like a handball, but the referee seeing nothing. And Cuba finishing it off. The players look like they quit on it. Oh, and here we go. The referees and the Cuban coaching staff absolutely going with each other. We're going to see what happens. But it looked like the Nicaraguan players had left it. It was a breakaway. And Rodriguez still saved it, as we see here. It hits the arm. Looks like it was inside of the goal area. And looks like they're rewarding it. But there's a lot of shoving going on out here. And we're seeing Marcelo Alvarado not getting suckered into this. He wants no part of a yellow card. And here we go. It is indeed a penalty, and this crowd is absolutely roaring right now. Cuba up 2-1. Nicaragua with a penalty from 6 meters out. Taking it is Lester Cripp. The man already has a goal. He'll be a national hero if he scores a second here. It would be his third of the tournament. Lester Cripp. Sit rip. And it goes in. Nicaragua ties it up 2-2, and the crowd is absolutely nuts right now. Cuban goalkeeper getting a piece of it, but not nearly enough. Hits him in the right arm. Kevin Rueda knocking himself for not keeping that out. But that was just too much of a blast by Lester Cripp, who gets his second of the night. That's also 5 fouls from Cuba. Nicaragua on the attack again, almost. Cuba now on the attack. This game's picked up a big left-footed shot. Stop there. As we see Barbaro Alvarez leave it off to Diego Ramirez. This crowd is now reinvigorated. A 2-2 draw. Oh, pickpocketed beautifully there by Wesley Ruiz. And the energy cannot be contained from this crowd on a Sunday night in Managua. The temperature's hot outside, but it's hotter here in the arena. And with 9:27 left in the second half, we have a tied game. Ooh, almost getting down the space and clapping his hands. He knows. The young Cotia knows what he missed out there. Here comes Panama. Excuse me, Nicaragua. A foul called. And the referee sprinting down. Giving the yellow card out here to number 13, Roberto Diaz. He throws his hands up in the air in frustration and comes off to sit on the bench. As we see the timeout called, and over here being shoved. Not the way you want to see reaction. Yellow card for Diaz. And you could just see the look on the face of Kevin Rueda. Upset about it. Cuba's upset about the penalty. That was a wild few seconds of play. A lot of confusion going on. But my goodness, is this crowd on fire. Here we go. Cuba with the attempt out there. And the dangerous Barbaro Alvarez, the 20-year-old, celebrates his birthday this upcoming Wednesday. And what a better birthday gift for the big man to score potentially the winning goal on match day 2 and put Cuba into the quarterfinals. What a 21st birthday gift to himself that would be. And Brian Correa getting his minutes in with Nicaragua, but not doing anything there as we see Ezequiel Sequeira bringing the ball in. And missing the pass out there. Lacayo. So we see Cuba. Oh, big defensive play out there to prevent that attack. And you can see that Rudy Rodriguez real happy about that. Beautiful little flick in. Going over to Barbaro Alvarez. And mishits that. Wide right of the net. Nicaragua now with possession. Crossing into the Cuban half. Ball through the legs. Pivot turn, but on the kick now. A weak-footed attempt, nevertheless kicked away by Rudy Rodriguez. But it had a wide-open man, and he just stopped and slid the ball into the center of the pitch. But this game's so fast, sometimes you just have that split-second decision that can cost that opportunity. Cuba again crossing in. Oh, beautiful move. And the shot stopped by Rodriguez. Has posterized his defender, sliding the opposite way. Beautiful play by George Gonzalez. As we said, has a goal and an assist earlier, the 22-year-old stud, showcasing his fine footwork. A bit of a mix-up there with the ball from a couple of players. Nicaragua will take advantage in possession with the kick-in. Alvarado. Bringing it over, some moves up there. Ooh, a big shot out there by Correa, stopped by Kevin Rueda. Look at that beautiful left footer. And Rueda, who plays at Ciego de Avila in Cuba. Big in goal today for Cuba. Oh, a key opportunity in the center. Just mishit. The ball put it in the center, and the contact from Barrientos mishit, and still 2-2. With 6:26 left on the clock here in the second half. What a game, what a half, what an atmosphere. We hope you're enjoying it at home. Cuba, oh, beautiful stop at the pivot position, and kicked out of the way was Barrientos, preventing a serious attack there by Cuba. We talked about how young both these teams are. Cuba obviously being the youngest. As we see, oh, number 13, Diego Ramirez, was a big threat early on in the first half. Cut into the center in an opportunity almost to cut it in. As we see him try to get possession again. Rodriguez not having any of it. And you could just hear this crowd as we see Kevin Rueda, who's had a fine game for the most part. Wishing he had that penalty back again. Got a palm on it, but not enough of a rocket. As Lester Cripp let it rip. And speaking of another attempt to rip, was Ezequiel Sequera there. Playing his futsal out of Unan, Managua. The local boy, as Nicaragua get a corner kick. It's off the defender, and it'll be a second in a row corner kick. But that ball seemed to hit the Cuban defender right in the solar plexus, maybe knocking the wind out of him a little bit. Or a little down below. Never want to see that. Play whistle down. And a yellow card's coming up over to Nicaragua. Who's going to get the call here? And that's going over to number 4, Patrick Luna. Goes up high and clips the leg of Harold Aguilera. Oh, Cuba almost with an opportunity there, but Rodriguez gobbles it up. It's going to be slippery, though, in that area. Cuba picking it up. Oh, a little spin move over there. Almost getting around Franklin Palacios. This is what you love about futsal. Fast footwork. Sequeta. We're going to post up out there and get Luna to make the move in. Open up the space a little more. Less than 5 minutes remaining here in the second half in this pivotal Group B fixture between Nicaragua and Cuba. Nicaragua again on the attack. Wide! And luckily, Diego Ramirez was there to stop, but it has gone out now. Cuba coming out of their zone. Ramirez losing possession. Nicaragua retains with Alvarado. Being asked by the referee to get a little closer, brings the kick in over to Rodriguez. A little flick up there by Ruiz. Not much out there. Cuba getting the ball just in the Nicaragua end. Playing it back out to reset is Cuba. Aguilera giving the ball away. Picked up by Barrientos. But it'll go out. Cuba ball with 3:33 left on the clock. What an intense atmosphere and great game. Ball going out of bounds. And Marcelo Alvarado, the 21-year-old, bringing it out. Rodriguez down to Barrientos. A 1v1. An attempt there by Roberto Diaz. Put a little too much on it. As we see Nicaragua, they want to lead and take it home, but a giveaway out there sees a 2v1 for Cuba, a 3v1 opportunity. Big time defensive play, and Nicaragua on the counter. 2v1, a left foot. Oh, pushed an arm on him, and it is... Oh, is not happy one bit. We see on the counter the arm giving him a little shove out there. Number 7, Christian Valiente, putting his arm up, but the referee's not buying it. And that horn's going to indicate a timeout. So with 2:40 left on the clock, the stakes are high. Coach Carlos Sotala giving the instructions out to Nicaragua. They want the 3 points. They need the 3 points. And they want to give their fans, the 8,000 strong here in the arena, something to go home and cheer about. And reward them for their support. This has been one of the best crowds in the history of the Concacaf Futsal Championship. Sotala giving direct instructions to Roberto Diaz. And now over to Lester Cripp saying, boys, here's what I want. A passionate coach he is. Motivated the boys to produce the 2 goals they need to tie it. Can they make it a third and take the lead? Ooh, beautiful move out there by Cripp, who lets it rip again. What a fantastic play. Lester Cripp is given everything and just smashes it at goal, but Kevin Rueda up to the task. Corner kick, Nicaragua. Cubans punted out. Nicaragua Picking it up again. Trying to turn his man is Diaz. But the ball gets loose back. Cuban ball into the Nicaragua zone. Cuba putting it into the center. No one there in the pivot position to hold it. A little miscommunication there between Roberto Diaz and Lester Cripp as they tried to come out. But under 2 minutes left now. This one's going to go down to the final seconds. Lester Cripp set a phenomenal game with 2 goals, including that penalty. Massive part of this resurgence again. Didn't get the call, but got right back up. No complaints. Look at this run down the sideline. Almost gets around his final defender. Nicaragua are motivated, but Cuba come back. Big slide tackle there by Diaz. Final minute here in the second half. As Diego Ramirez tries a sneaky little shot, but it hits the outside of the net. And Rudy Rodriguez will roll it out. The fans are on their feet here at the arena. 45 seconds left is deafening. They want Nicaragua to score a third and decisive goal that would give them full points. Let's see if they deliver. Cuba in deep to the Nicaragua zone. Beautiful pass laid off, and Cuba with a clear opportunity. Oh goodness. Martinez makes the move in between 2 of them and fires it right over at Rudy Rodriguez. That should have been the game winner. But Rodriguez just bouncing it over. Cuba now with a corner with 29.1 seconds left on the clock. Cuba bringing it back into their zone. Hernandez, the big man, laying it off. 10 seconds left. Cuba looking at, well, 3.2 seconds left. Will Nicaragua take the shot? No, they won't get it off in time, and there it is. 2-2, Nicaragua and Cuba. At the end of match day 2 in Group B. We'll see the standings shortly. But Cuba, 2-0 at halftime. Nicaragua, the home fans, dragging them back to steal a point away from the Cubans, courtesy of 2 goals by Lester Cripp. Nicaragua, you can see how exhausted they are. Roberto Diaz giving everything. But the Cuban coaching staff still not happy about that penalty call. And definitely letting the referee staff know all about it. What a game that was. And with that, Panama, after match day 2, topping Group B. Cuba with 2 points from 2 draws, 1 5-5 against Canada yesterday, 2-2 just now with Nicaragua. And Nicaragua with the point, moving to 3rd place with a -3 goal difference. Canada losing 7-3. Those goal difference items are always imperative, always vital and important. So now they find themselves with 1 point and a -4 goal difference. We'll take a look at some of the highlights here with Cuba, Nicaragua. The crowd loud from the beginning, an opportunity early on. Cerqueta just not hitting the net. Cuba laying it off, and the right-footed strike just going left of the net. Out there. Diego Ramirez, who was a threat all game long. Another opportunity. And a giveaway. Almost buried there by Martinez, but over there, no mistake. As a beautiful give and go with Cuatilla and George Gonzalez, who had a fantastic breakout game. Light header attempt out there, up to the task, was Rudy Rodriguez. But then Cuba broke back out again. The move by George Gonzalez laid it off, first stop, but the second would not be denied, as Jose Morales puts Cuba up 2-0 in the first half. Second half was a different story. Nicaragua, driven by their raucous home fans, pressing hard, giving everything they had. As we see Ezequiel Cerqueta working hard, Rudy Rodriguez doing what he can between the pipes. And there's the first goal for Nicaragua that really got this place bumping. Lester Kripp, beautifully finished. Right shot, left side of the goal. Cuba almost getting an opportunity there, but we see the handball on the defender, and Lester Kripp lets it rip. And Kevin Reda upset he couldn't palm it. His second goal of the night, and that would be the final one. As Nicaragua and Cuba share the spoils and each take a point in the match day 3. But as you can see, the opportunity here, Idoan Martinez. What a match that was. And of course, we will be back tomorrow for the final day of the stage here at the 2024 Concacaf Futsal Championships. Make sure you go to concacaf.com for all the scores, stats, schedules, and of course the broadcast information. What a fantastic game this was. We hope you enjoyed it. Cuba losing 4-1 in 2020, but getting the point out here. And now jumping into second place in Group B. Tomorrow, everything to play for. Cuba versus Panama. Nicaragua playing Canada. And that Nicaragua-Canada game is going to be an absolute banger. Make no mistake, Panama already going through to the quarter. Cuba definitely wanted to take at least another point.